I don't want to bury the lead here. I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing the House of Flora later. They're going to be finishing the night, so you will be staying here because the end event is something that you don't want to miss. Trust me. The House of Flora is working to bring the ballroom community, which has long centered queer and trans people of color who are in poverty, that don't have an outlet, that people don't listen to, don't value, even though they are brilliant artists and geniuses at performance. And in Portland, that is something that is sorely needed. So we're very grateful to the people that are going to be coming out here to perform for y'all so you can see what Vogue looks like. And then you'll be inspired to keep living. Trust me. The Morpheus Youth Project is going to be here. The Morpheus Youth Project is going to be speaking about some of the stuff that they've been through. If you all know about some of the horrendous things that happened at McLaren Youth Facility, the prison industrial complex has no problem with swallowing up young people, and the Morpheus Youth Project is working to keep them whole so that they can continue to build community with all of us here. And then we're going to be able to hear from people that have been building critical resistance for years and have extensive knowledge that we're all going to be able to benefit from, and we're very grateful to you all. My name is Alyssa Pariah. I'm the co-chair of Portland Jobs with Justice, a strong supporter of critical resistance, a very diligent activist who screams at every chance I can for Care Not Cops, and one of the members of Don't Shoot Portland who has been trying to fight against the racist police in this city for a long time. So this is Abolition is Liberation, Confronting Harm and Dismantling State Violence. We're happy for you to join us, and if you'll have it, I'd like to do a land acknowledgement, and I'd like to get all of the names of the tribes right, because we all live under a settler colony. The United States of America, as it is, probably should not have ever existed because it was premeditated on violence against people who were already here. Christopher Columbus and his friends didn't discover anything. They're invaders, marauders, thieves, rapists, murderers. We should call it like it is. The people who we want to acknowledge are the indigenous people of what is now known as Portland, including the Multnomah, the Wasco, the Cowlitz, the Klamath, the Clackamas, bands of Chinook, Tualatin Kalapuya, and Malala territory. We thank and extend our gratitude to Native communities in our region who have stewarded this land, and offer our respect to their elders, past, present, and future. Yes? This is a crumbling empire. We should help the crumbling along, I think. So 6 years in Portland, but the national organization just celebrated their 20-year anniversary. And critical resistance has been shifting common sense, or what is known as common sense thinking, so that it is not so easy for people to repeat carceral logic. That it can't just be that in order to get elected, you say that you're tough on crime. And of course that means that you dispose of ordinary people who are just trying to live their lives. And you set up traps all along the way. And then tell everyone that you're doing good things in the community. If you're one of those actors, you should leave, number one. And you should quit your job and find something useful. If the people who want to come up from Morpheus, I've got a little bit of information about Noah and Robert, who come from Verbal Escape, who are going to let you know a little bit about what they do. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the kind of spirit of resistance that they're going to set up for you all. So please, welcome them.
Okay, you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So, It's good to see so many people united under this cause in this room tonight. I wanted to take a quick second to introduce Morpheus Youth Project. Morpheus Youth Project is an organization that has three areas of focus. One, disrupting the school to prison pipeline through working with our young people when they're intercepted by these systems, going to the facilities and running these groups, and working with our young people when they do come home. So first began working with Morpheus Youth Project around 2011. I was incarcerated, serving a 7.5 year sentence in McLaren Youth Correctional Facility, and we had an idea of bringing poetry to the facility. So we had this idea, and we didn't really have the ability to reach out to the community. So Morpheus and the Hope Partnership served as our community liaison and helped us connect with Portland poets and other people who helped us develop this curriculum as really an instrument of healing. So we designed this curriculum, Stephen Fowler and some other amazing folks, and it was really designed to, make a change that we wanted to see. When you're incarcerated, there's not a lot of places for you to go, but there is always a safe space between those pages, and that we saw the power in that. So we began doing that and really wanted to make a difference when we did come home. So we were released in 2016, both of us, with the mission to help bring this service to our young people who are still incarcerated in these facilities. So we have some amazing young people who work with. Ooh, you don't want to go over there. All right, who work with Morpheus Youth Project, and I want to begin by introducing our first poet of the night. Show this man some love, Angel.
What's good, everyone? My poem is called Color is Beautiful. Color is beautiful whether it's brown or black, whether it's yellow or red. Every color is beautiful in its own unique way. Sometimes when I see a brown or black person, I admire their skin color because it's either beautiful, glowing, or radiant. Some people I think of with beautiful skin color is my mother and my sisters, and people like Iris and Rudy, and legends like Selena and Tupac. This world wouldn't be the same without color. We put on the earth to shine together. Why not do it together? Helping our beautiful brown, black, Asian, Hispanic brothers and sisters. We're all different outside, which is beautiful.
All right, thank you, Angel. Now I'm going to introduce Kobe.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I think I'm gonna just hold it. To be honest, thank you. These chains may, sorry. These chains may bound my hands, but can never close around the depths of my dreams. Damn, these chains don't fit. Have you ever heard of the man in uniform who said the very same thing with the helmet and 1,000+ fans, friends, and family around? On one knee and got whipped after the game because, damn, that whip's vicious. And silence is the only acceptable consequence for the little bit of lax they give for you. They give you for loosening the chains around our necks and coding the bullshit through a contract in a room with cologne incense. They stop us for no apparent reason to let us know that we are not yet free, still lock and key. Although damn these chains don't fit, you gonna listen today because a slave is still a slave no matter how many people know your name. You can wave your hands and still catch a bullet between your eyes. The size of the problem they had with you being alive. These chains don't fit you. Can scratch and kick, spit and stay silent. Yes, massa, no massa, and still get split. Yes, Black Lives Matter, but only for profit. How is it that a black woman in America could work 3 jobs to provide for a kid that she barely sees, only to make $11 an hour after taxes? Chained to a desk and waterboarded while carrying the diploma she earned by kissing ashes. Ashes to ashes, she still fell down, only to be offered aid, a blanket and water, food and bands. To her, this is native land, and you know what happened when natives accepted them white folks' hand. There's always tricks in other ways. They play smile on face, a free man only to be greeted with chains, disgrace. That smile turned cold like blistered hands in frozen rain. I know there's a catch, I just can't close my hands around it. Or a man with 2 kids and 2 baby moms who needs benefits but could care less about what he has to offer or anything that surrounds him can apply for government aid. And as he works a way to provide what he can, he's made himself a bed in which he lay. Master looks to him to pay 14 days minimum wage, 49 hours a week, subtract 10% and split 6 ways, $135 left to his name. He looks for more money and eventually finds chains. See, these were made especially for him, although they don't fit, because back then he was just a kid being surveyed in a kindergarten glass house, who never knew what a stone looked like. He had a cell waiting for 35, inmate 662345. Damn, these chains don't fit.
Hell yeah. So, I like to speak with my hands, so hopefully this doesn't fall. Alright, cool. So the title of this poem is Cattle Walk, and I gave a little preview of this over at an event a couple days ago, but anyways, here it is, called Cattle Walk. After the sound of the gavel, I was marched out in shackles. The deputy placed me in a group cell and called me in for a transport. I was placed into the back of a van with 12 grown men as they drove us out to our new placement. They brought us inside, and fluorescent lights turned up too high filled my eyes as we marched down paper white hallways. These places reminded me of schools. I thought back to the classes where we watched videos of modern day cattle moving through the systems in place for them. And I wondered if they thought about their souls or whether or not they were just burgers and steaks to them. We marched in a similar fashion. They brought us to group rooms and told us to take off our socks and our shoes. In the farming process, this is where they would strip the sheep of their wool. Next thing I know, an old man walks in with a notepad and starts counting my tattoos, branding so the other cattle knew which gang I belonged to. Next came the search, and I'll spare you the details and fast forward to the part where I walked out with pants and a shirt, coupled with a violated sense of personal space and everything else packed into a pillowcase. I was scared, but I knew which mask to wear that said I was okay. They brought my group through a series of buzzing doors and buzzing gates until we stepped into a place that sounded like 400 men screaming out of cages. There were 400 men screaming out their cages. Every one of them had faces and stories and names, and we all made it there for different mistakes, but our lives were sitting on the same plate. From farms to tables and high schools to jail cells, we were now feeding the beast of mass incarceration. You know, one of the things that I try not to fixate on is the anger and the hate that comes from, you know, working against these types of systems, and to never ever be robbed of that love that is within inside of us. You know what I mean? And to always operate from that place of love, and never to drink their poison. You feel me? This next poem is called Natural Light. Have you ever looked up at the stars in the city? You can see some, but it's hard to see many. Street lights, store signs, and buildings illuminated at all times block the radiance of their shine, yet they still shine. Reminding me of this little light of mine, you know, the one that sits in the center of your chest. That feeling of love that's strong enough to take your breath, that is equivalent to the radiance you were born with. You were the sun and the world's in your orbit. The goal is learning how to break through the darkness, and billboards designed to make you self-conscious. Let's be honest. There are millions of stars sleeping in the sky. And there are millions of people who forget that they can shine, but that light switch can be flipped at any time by words that spark life and ignite what's inside. There is nothing more beautiful than natural light. And there is no better moment than now for you to shine, so shine. Thank you guys for allowing me to spend this time with you. I'm going to pass this over to Robert, who's going to close us out with something special. So, Robert, my man.
First off, thank you for having me in your space. Thank you for the energy. Hopefully I admit something back to you. I go by the name of Robert White. Artist name Abstract. I have abstract thinking. But a little about me also, I was incarcerated for about 4.5 years, and I didn't know what Measure 11 was when I signed my plea and got crucified. And out of that came blessings. And amongst those blessings was me being able to speak and go on tour for a little bit. And I got invited to Good Morning America and as a poet. So I wrote a poem for Good Morning America. And then when I presented it, they said, it's too heavy for the morning, so can we do something different? And I thought about it, and I was like, nah. And it was around election time, so it was a little sensitive. And so I was like, I'm going to keep this. And they're like, okay, let's have you on, but you're not going to do poetry. And I was like, why am I on? I'm a poet. So I eventually didn't go on, but here's this poem that I wrote for it. It's called Good Morning America. I was told that I would be on Good Morning America as if I rode in on the eve of the day before. I am a taste of coffee, so here, Good Morning America. A country that makes me feel as if I am only tolerated, a place based on politics. No, I don't like speaking on politics, but it seems only right when I have a voice and God gives breath and news gives death, but cops give death. So here, Good Morning America. I am not anti-Trump. Personally, because I don't know him as a man. But my melanin strongly urges a stand, because if the Ku Klux Klan backs him and Hillary was voted most popular, it seems only right that I put on 2 black leather gloves that form fists and fight back. So, Good Morning America. I hope you like your coffee strong and black. I won't sugarcoat or hold back, but I will vocalize that no racism involved, but I am pro-black. See, chains have broken, but history is choked when you overlook the fact that my historical roots are limited to a month. America, I plead, listen up. My people are shot down in streets and you broadcast it on television and say it was rightfully just. We have not gotten over mourning Trayvon before another black man has fallen. And see, I don't mean to focus on race, but when running for your life as bullets chased from fire weapons, you kind of look at time as a competitor, hoping never to reach the finish line. Because when I look in the mirror, I see a zombie. Double tap target on my head, I am the walking dead. Because there was never a good morning in America when death can reach you before the afternoons, where bodies are laid out like trophy game and heads are collected on fireplace mantles. See, I handle my sanity like many, but unlike many, I will become a few. Speaking prophetic views that my father Abraham seen in dreams viewed. See, you too, America, have dreamed before good mornings, where dreams led to mornings of kings shot dead on balconies when trying to achieve differently from my peers dying during teens. See, this year I turned older than a friend who achieved life and death before me. I scream Black Lives Matter, but they scream All Lives Matter, and truthfully, there's more to that story. But when looking at America, I start to wonder, is it even good for me? Because the ones in prisons look like me, while the ones in college have to be athletes, and the accolades don't add up. But if the score does, then that's enough. I'm hesitant to pledge to a flag we see. See, they crucified Kaepernick after he decided to take a knee. So I wonder, after this poem, what would they do to me? After this president, what would we consider free? Manipulation free is like sugar free. So here, Good Morning America. It's time to wake up. Thank you.